3 whopping mistakes fitness coaches make with mobility. Hey, I'm Sarah from mostmotion, and I'm here with another Mobility Matters episode for every sports and fitness coach who wants to help their clients avoid injury and all the performance problems that come with having persistent nagging problems. So, what are the 3 whopping mistakes that fitness coaches make with mobility? Well, the first one is that they chase the pain. What do I mean by that? Well, most of the time we're looking at areas that are sore or people have like nagging problems that they tell you about, okay? And that means that we take their word for it, we focus on those areas. But there's 2 reasons why that is a huge mistake. Firstly, the pain is not generally where the problem is coming from. The pain is just a symptom of something that's happening somewhere else. So when we focus on the pain area, we're focusing on the symptom, which will lead us away from the real cause of the problem. The second reason that this is a mistake is that pain is not your remit as a fitness coach. And if you start to try and focus in on pain that your clients do have, then you're at the risk of overstepping your role as a fitness coach and putting yourself in a lot of hot water if anything were to happen to your clients based on your recommendations. So we need to stay away from the pain because the pain is not where the problem is, and it's not our remit as a coach to try and deal with that pain unless you are specifically qualified to do so. So the second whopping mistake that fitness coaches make is that they focus on the activity or the action. So what do I mean by that? Well, if we are looking at maybe a stretch or something like that, then we're trying to focus on doing that action or that particular position correctly, and we tell our clients that we should or they should be feeling it in a given place. But every human being, they look the same. We have, bits of us that look familiar and look the same to everyone. So we have, a spine, we have a pelvis, we have legs, we have arms, all this kind of thing. But that doesn't mean that every single individual that you coach has the same problems. And if we try and deal with X problem by using a given movement, then it will give us Y result. This isn't baking, this isn't inanimate objects, these are human beings. We have over 600 muscles, there's bones, there's ligaments, there's connective tissue, there's all sorts of things, but each of those individual people in your care has had an individual lifetime of experience. And when we focus on doing the activity or the action correctly, then we are losing the ability to deal with our individual people and help those people, okay? And that leads me to the third whopping problem, and that is that we don't allow for that individuality in the actions that we choose for our clients. So let's say we're focusing on the method, for example. If we're using something like foam rolling, then you can't really ask a 90-year-old lady to lay around on a foam roller because the pressure is likely to cause them problems. They might not be able to get up and down off the floor. And if you're asking somebody who's hypermobile to use resistance bands or something like that to try and move the joints around, then we're likely to encourage dislocation with their joints. So it really puts a barrier to a lot of people being able to join in with what we're doing, and it means that we can't use the same activities, the same methods for everybody in our group, and that puts barriers up, and we don't want that. And even if we focus on a position itself, then if we're static or we don't use multiple planes of motion, or we try and do the same thing the same way all the time, then we are missing out on the opportunity for our clients and our members and gym members to be able to just adjust themselves slightly and move in ways that is individual to them. So if we're focusing on the right way of doing something and we're not allowing for that individuality, then we're putting up a lot of barriers and stopping people helping themselves and improving on their mobility. So an example of this is something that I gave one of my clients to do. She had a back problem, or she was having problem in her knee, I can't remember now, but she took the movements that I asked her to do and she showed them to her 90-year-old mother, okay? But because there was movement in the exercise, I wasn't dictating to her which she should do. The movements were very simple, you were just standing up and moving around. She showed those to her 90-year-old mother, and her 90-year-old mother started to feel less back pain the next day, just because she'd been allowed to move in different ways. So when we start using methods and activities that allow that individuality, then we start to include the more people that can get involved in what we're doing. We can diversify who we're talking to, and we can use the same movements for lots and lots of people. That means everybody in our group sessions is going to be able to benefit from what we're asking our people to do. So if you remember nothing else from this video, remember this: good coaches coach technical, great coaches coach people. And the more people, the more individuality we can get into what it is that we're coaching, the better coaching we will be. So I have put all of my 30 years experience in the fitness industry. I have rehabilitated injuries, I have treated injuries, I've been preventing injuries for ages. I have created all of this into a 5-step method that's going to help to take your coaching from great to better than great. Okay, and you can get this 5-step method completely free in my upcoming book. Just follow the link in the description, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.